It's a Tuesday frenzy here at 360 Sports. It's February 11th, 2025, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Owen Klein, joined by Luke Mascarenhas, Fernando Martinez, and Wyatt Beach. We're halfway through the NBA season, and the All-Star break is about to be upon us, but the big news was that last night, Luka Doncic made his Lakers debut. He had 14 points and 5 rebounds while LA blew out the Utah Jazz. So guys, what are your thoughts on his debut and overall fit with the team?
I was not surprised that he did not play well. He hadn't played since Christmas Day due to that calf strain, and it was expected for him to be rusty. Also, he was playing against one of the worst teams in the NBA, against the Jazz, so it's okay if you didn't have a good game. You play them tomorrow as well, so don't expect much from Luka tomorrow or when they come back from the All-Star break. So we'll see how this fit goes, and they still need a center, but and they still need time to adjust, but it'll be interesting to see how the fit goes for some time.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway from this game is, sure he was rusty, but I think the main takeaway that the Lakers should get is that the city's behind them, sold out arena, everybody's got a Luka shirt on. It's the staff is embracing him. I think they really do think they have a future here in this player, maybe post LeBron as well. The main takeaway is the city's with him, and I really think next couple of weeks, if he gets going here, he's going to really make the Dallas regret trading him.
Well, they also had Luka shirts on because they gave out Luka shirts at the game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But,
exactly.
14 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and all in 24 minutes. That's a solid day, right? Coming off an injury, first team game with a new team. He's going to be a little rusty. He's going to come back. It's not Luka numbers we expect, but I think soon we'll start to see a lot of numbers we expect from Luka.
And Fernando, you mentioned that Luka will take time to adjust to this Lakers offense. And just imagine what he'll be like once he understands the scheme. He'll be an excellent complement to Austin Reeves. Now, I want to get to the All-Star selections. Other big news we've seen regarding it is the replacements. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Anthony Davis got hurt, and they're being replaced by Trae Young and Kyrie Irving. What are your reactions to these injuries, and what do you think about the replacements?
Can I say one thing? I think we should also all take a moment to laugh at the Mavs, right? Let's talk about it.
I was going to go.
Call it karma for trading for Anthony Davis.
You have to laugh at their GM at this point to trade away their best player, arguably in franchise history. You go there to now for Anthony Davis, phenomenal player, injury prone though, and look at that. First game in, he's already out for a month plus. I think we just have to sit here and laugh at the Mavs for a minute. That's unbelievable.
I couldn't agree more. You trade away a generational talent in Luka Doncic for a 31-year-old center who, look, he's still a really good player. Let me make that clear. But he's still injury prone, and also he's getting older by the day. So and for him to get hurt in his debut, that is really, really sad. And right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Nico Harrison loses his job by the end of the season.
Yeah, like I said, I think there was a series of ejections at this game, too. So the Mavs fans definitely are voicing their displeasure about this trade, even if they wanted to embrace Anthony Davis. Definitely a huge setback for the Mavs. I just hope the guys in the locker room can figure this out before it gets any worse.
Mm-hmm. Yep, those two signs included fire Nico. If that's a way to get the attention of a team and their front office, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and I'll say, I understand Davis wasn't hurt, hasn't been that much hurt in the last 2 years, but you can't ignore what happened before that. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem the Mavs did, and it's going to come back to bite them, to be honest with you.
They traded away Luka.
It has. He got hurt.
Yeah.
They traded away Luka. Never mind getting AD. Never mind he's injury prone. You gave away arguably the most talented player on the come up
last year.
And he single-handedly led them there.
Yeah. I still, it's days later, and I'm still bamboozled by this trade. I don't get it.
And let's not forget, he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Average is 28.
While Anthony Davis is 31 at the time of the trade.
Yes.
32 now, right?
I don't think there's a harder fall off in any sport than post 30 in basketball. Mm-hmm. We've seen it time and again. It's such a physical sport, and it takes its toll on the body unlike any other American sport. That when you hit 30, people immediately start to go, where's this organization
Unless
going
you're
for the future?
LeBron.
Unless you're LeBron.
Yeah.
But LeBron literally is the only guy to pretty much overdo
He's
it.
like Tom Brady. He
Yes.
is
Yeah.
90% robot, I'm sure.
It's unless if you're LeBron or a couple others like KD or James Harden.
And even if, though, their decline, like you saw it at 30 compared to LeBron,
I mean,
I still can't get over 2018 LeBron, if we're being honest.
yeah.
Has anyone?
No.
No.
I don't think.
But I want to talk a little bit about the Bucks a little bit also. I mean, they won the NBA in-season tournament, and then they've been reeling since then. And now they lost Giannis. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games. They're now 2.5 games in front of the Heat, which is behind in play-in territory. And also, you gotta realize they don't have another scorer besides Damian Lillard on that team. So it's a good thing that All-Star break's coming in for them because their struggles were gonna come in handy.
I thought that too, and so he's seeing that Giannis and AD were out. We did get 2 exciting players coming to All-Star Weekend though, in Kyrie and Trey. And I think those will be 2 players that are just gonna be fun to watch at an All-Star Weekend. They're gonna do things that you can't do, and it'll be fun to watch. So that's nice.
I'll say this: I think LaMelo should have made it over Trae Young. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I agree. but-
There's a lot of snubs every year. I wanted to see
course.
Sabonis really bad.
it's hard.
I like to see players who are fun to watch in
Yes.
All-Star Weekend, though.
Yes.
That's for sure. And Trey Young and Kyrie Irving are definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 big names, so you can't really be mad.
I don't know if you saw this, but Trae Young posted something on social media saying that is getting traded at this point, TRAED, about him being a snub to the All-Star game, but he got a switch. I don't know this wish. I don't know how funny that is to you.
Got it.
All right.
But anyway, it's time to head to the soccer pitch and talk about the Champions League. Let's switch gears. And the Champions League is heading to its knockout round, which features some great games, most notably Manchester City against Real Madrid. It's a great matchup among some others. What are your thoughts on the beginning of a long set of great matchups?
Well, this Man City Real Madrid. If you're not watching, come on. Like, what are you doing? This is a heck of a game. Like, you're having 2 of the favorites in the Champions League going at it in the early stages of the Champions League. Also, you got 2 great coaches in Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti.
2 of the best coaches ever, really.
You got the two future stars in the game in Mbappe and Erling Haaland. Like, there's so many storylines. Like, it's just a game that you have to watch. And also, we just saw Madrid won 3-2 in Man City.
Unbelievable game to watch. To watch City come out, score early, control the game for the rest of the first half. Then when the second half hit, you have, what great players do. Mbappe getting a goal, Brahim Diaz coming on, scoring 2 minutes later, and then Jude Bellingham, the GOAT, scoring a last-minute winner, all right? He every time, he's scoring last-minute winners. City got lucky. I'd argue that their penalty for their second goal was soft. It was soft.
I think it was a penalty, but agree to disagree.
It was a soft penalty, in my opinion.
Agree to disagree.
So I felt like they got lucky with that. And then, Madrid did what they did best. What they call Fergie time is really Ancelotti time, where they're going to score at the end of the game to really win it.
But let's also talk a little bit about both teams. I mean, Man City has been struggling. They're 5th in the Premier League. And I understand Real Madrid is 1st in La Liga, but they haven't been playing well either. I mean, they've been tying games in games that you don't expect in La Liga. They've been losing games that you don't expect. And also, despite having Mbappe, Bellingham, that loaded team, and also, they've been losing players in the defense. So, even though Madrid won, I still don't think this is over.
I wouldn't be surprised. A 1-goal lead in aggregate going into the next leg will be interesting. But now we also have 3 other games that happened today in PSG versus Brest, where PSG won 3-0. Ousmane Dembele has scored 5 goals in the last 10 days against Brest. So I don't know what to tell you about that. He has been on a tear in 2025 right now. We have PSV against Juve, where Juve won 2-1. Another good game, expected to win for Juventus, right? And then Sporting v Borussia Dortmund, Sporting 0, Borussia Dortmund 3. Another game where you expect BVB to win, but off a season where they're struggling. They're low in the Bundesliga table. They looked good. Finally.
This is the thing with Borussia Dortmund. They always don't play well in the Bundesliga, but when they play in the Champions League, it's like they're in a different gear.
I mean, they went to the final last year. Look
Yeah,
at that.
and they barely made the Champions League in the Bundesliga last year.
Exactly.
So, this is a different...
Some huge teams in this new format. One thing I really like about this new format, I feel like we kind of saw, even some early on, some Cinderella stories develop. I'm kind of watching this mid-table, seeing who's going to pop off. Brest got a lot of talk a couple months ago. I'm watching Celtic because Jota on the wing. He's back.
Jota, yeah.
He's back.
Yeah.
He makes the Celtics sing.
All
So
right.
I'm watching Celtic right now, even though they're firmly in the mid-table and it's getting tighter at the top. I want to see what these underdogs can do and maybe even pop into a top 8 spot.
Yeah.
This new format for the Champions League has done a lot, and I would say a lot of people were skeptical coming into the season, but it has proved a lot of people wrong. Really, it's good. People are entertained. A lot of great matchups early. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I'll admit, I wasn't a big fan of it either, but that last game, match day, when it was Wednesday and it was every single team playing, that's what makes the Champions League so much fun to watch.
That was a great day.
And all the teams were playing. They were at the same time. It was like so many storylines were happening. So many things were happening at the same time. Even the goal difference could determine if you were in or out in the Champions League. So that's something I really liked with this new format.
It's getting tight down there, and that's just one of many sports happening year-round. And you know what that means? There's always time for some hot takes. I want you guys to go to the board and give us bold predictions for any sport in the world and tell us why it'll happen.
All right.
Let's start with you, Luke.
Got it. All right, my bold prediction is going to come out of the Serie A in Italy. I believe that Big Rom will carry Napoli to their second Scudetto title in 3 years. Napoli hasn't won in 33 years. They had one Scudetto, 19? I believe it was 87. They came out in 2022. They won the Scudetto. Then they revamped their team. Came next year, came in 10th place. Lost their 2 best players. Then they brought in Antonio Conte, one of the best coaches to ever do it, who wants another Scudetto. We're 24 games into the season. Inter Milan is at 55 points, while Napoli's at 56. It's a tight race, but I do believe that they'll be able to pull it out because they have no Champions League, they have no more Coppa Italia, no Super Coppa Italia, anything like that. They're just focused on one game a week, finding a way to win that game. And that's why I believe that they'll be able to hold it together and win the Serie A this year.
I don't know about Napoli winning the Serie A. I still consider Inter Milan the front runner to win it again. I mean, they still have so much firepower on offense with Lautaro Martinez. They have a balanced midfielder. They have a great defense. They're just very balanced, Inter. So I still give them the edge.
Absolutely.
And also, I don't trust this guy.
You don't trust Big Rom right there? Come on now.
No.
Romelu Lukaku
He can't score a tap-in.
can't score a tap in. He has 6 goals this season, 7 assists. He is easily one of our best players in front of the goal. When he turns his back to net and can dish out a pass to someone like Scott McTominay, Stanislav Lobotka, David Netta, any of them. I mean, I'll go on for days. That once he gets his back to net, he can play it out, and we have a great balanced attack.
I'll give you this. I would rather Napoli than Inter again.
Great answer.
I would rather Napoli than
But
Inter.
also, don't forget,
That's
Inter
all
will be
I'll
playing
say.
in Champions League, Coppa Italia, and so that's 3 more
This is
competitions
true.
with more games each week. Well, all Napoli really has to focus on is their 1 game a week in the Serie A.
That's true. I'll admit, fatigue is a huge factor in soccer.
Yeah,
of all things.
Absolutely.
It'll be a real chance to prove themselves, but what do you think, Fernando?
Well, I am going to football. And I think a lot of Eagles fans are going to like my take. I think they're going to go back-to-back. Listen, this team is going to get much better next year. They have a really good defense. They have a great core with Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean. This defense is very young, and they're going to get much better next year. Also, let's talk a little bit about Jalen Hurts. He didn't have his best season, and yet he still won the Super Bowl. Like, that's very, very impressive. So, and also, I understand that Kellen Moore is left for the Saints, but this guy's going to get much better. And also, let's also not forget, they still have a lot of capital from the trades they made They got 9 picks for this upcoming NFL draft that they can use to upgrade the team. So, I really do think the Eagles are going to go back-to-back.
I want you to be right really bad, Fernando, as an Eagles fan. Full faith in Howie Roseman with those picks. He pulls all the levers, man. I really hope you're right.
Howie Roseman is a phenomenal GM. I do think that you guys should be a top 3 favorite at least, bringing back a lot of those great players. But the real question is, are you going to hold off the Chiefs again? That's my question. Again, being a Raiders fan, I've seen the Chiefs. You need to beat that team again. It'll be a hungry Patrick Mahomes. It'll be a hungry offense. They'll have Rashee Rice back. Do you guys think that you'll be able to go there and beat them?
The thing is, like, it's noticeable now. They need a star wide receiver. Like, Mahomes was struggling. In
Their
that
wide
game.
receiver one was also had a torn ACL and will be back.
Yeah.
But he's coming off at an ACL injury. You don't know how he's going to come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Though I have to say their weakness was their 2 tackle spots, and they rotated guys at left tackle all season long. Never found a replacement. Just wait until they throw $30 million a year at Ronnie Stanley.
Exactly.
And you mentioned it. Their core is coming back. The offense is going to get better. Saquon, I think, is going to get better. I think
he's
AJ
breaking
Brown.
rushing records.
I think
next
AJ
year.
Brown is going to get better. The defense, I'm legitimately scared of that defense. They didn't blitz one single time in that game, and yet they got to Patrick Mahomes so many times. It's ridiculous. I would not be shocked if they go back-to-back tomorrow next year.
And what do you think, Wyatt?
Well, I'm switching it up from the stick and ball sports, and I'm going to Daytona, Florida. This Sunday, it's the Great American Race, the pinnacle of stock car racing in the United States, the Daytona 500. This is the Super Bowl of Americana, of Southern Americana. And this race, it's unforgiving, all right? There's big ones left and right. Only about a third of the field is standing at the end of the race. And there's a lot of part-time entries in this field. And my pick to win it all is going to be Martin Truex Jr., retired from full-time racing last season. And he's accomplished everything in this sport. Southern 500, Coke 600, but not NASCAR championship. But he hasn't won the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. I think this one is going to be his icing on the cake to a Hall of Fame career.
I know Daytona 500 is a big sporting event here. I'm not that much into it, but you kind of intrigued me to watch it.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you think the biggest competition to Martin Truex Jr. is?
You got to look at some of these defending, super speedway winners. Ryan Blaney is always in the mix at the end of the race. Somehow he just survives these huge wrecks in the final couple of laps. I would like Brad Keselowski to win because he's my favorite driver, but he's really reckless on these plate races, and he just pushes and pushes until someone gives away in front of him, and it's usually to his detriment, but we'll see.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. still do racing and stuff, right?
He's actually got a part-time, so he's retired, but he's a car owner. He's for the first time, he's got a cup start.
Just testing his knowledge, just whatever.
He's got a cup start. He's in Junior Motorsports. He's got someone running.
Exactly.
Justin Allgaier in the 40.
Oh, why don't you bring us to the board? Tell us what you got today.
To the finish line.
Will do. So, many people think the Iron Bowl is an excellent college football rivalry. Alabama and Auburn have had so many great games together, but this Saturday, the top 2 teams in the country in men's basketball will hit the hardwood in Tuscaloosa as Auburn takes on Alabama in a 1-versus-2 battle, and I have the winner of this game becoming the top seed overall in the NCAA tournament. I know there's still a good amount of the season left. Alabama has matchups against Tennessee and Florida down the stretch too, and these 2 teams will play again in their last game of the regular season, but it's going to be rocking down Tuscaloosa, and I just can't wait to watch this one. Whoever wins this game is going to have the inside track to gain the top seed in the NCAA tournament. Who knows? Maybe they can win the whole thing.
This is going to be a hell of a game, I'll admit it. The only thing, I don't agree with you on the fact that I think the winner will be the top seeded. I still think Duke will be the number 1 seed, to be honest with you. Cooper Flagg is
He's undeniable.
He's so good.
I hate Duke.
He's a freshman, and yet he dominates the game like it's nothing.
Cooper Flagg, our senior year, I guess I'll say, because he's my age. He came down to Jersey to play, and I watched him play live, and there's nothing to say. He is a disgusting athlete. He is so good at basketball. He made everything look effortless. The team in my area who was so good, he tore them apart by himself, basically.
Also, let's not forget, he trained with the U.S. national team for a little bit when they were going to the Olympics. That's how good he is.
I'm not going to sit here and praise Duke, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, but how many times can you say a freshman comes out of nowhere and dominates college basketball?
It happened with Zion Williamson.
Exactly.
But would you say they came out of nowhere? I feel like I knew about Zion for 3 years.
No. It's not
We-
necessarily out of nowhere. Sure, they have great recruiting profiles, but they have to deliver on the court.
And he
Just
has
look at Rutgers.
He's the main star of the Duke team.
Yeah, Cooper Flag is delivering on the court, I'd say.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Rutgers is still struggling.
But I mean, you can make the legitimate arguments that they don't have the perfect players around Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, and also the coaching.
Peter Noble's real good on Rutgers, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, the thing with Duke is like they have a good core behind Cooper Flag. That's the difference between Duke and Rutgers.
Mm-hmm. And now, it's time to blind rank the championship teams. 5 different championship teams from different sports are going to be showed on this board here, and I want us to blind rank them from 1 to 5 based on whatever metric you want.
So what metric we going with first? We want electric, or just like how fun they are to watch that team? Dominance? What are we thinking here,
I'd
boys?
say roster construction.
I say dominance. To be
like-
honest.
Dominance.
Yeah.
I think dominance.
All right,
Roster construction kind of goes with
and
dominance. I think.
coaching too.
Yes,
Yeah,
coaching
all
too.
right, we could do
We'll
that.
do dominance.
So
yeah.
let's begin with the Philadelphia
All right,
Eagles.
I don't want recency bias, so I'm saying like 2 or 3. I don't want recency bias.
I was going to say 2.
I would say 3. I would say 3.
I'm
Look,
leaning
Now,
towards 2.
now, any sport,
look.
first one, I actually agree with Fernando here. I think 3's.
All right, I'll concede.
What do you think, Owen?
I'll say 2 for now.
So you guys want to go 2 and we'll go 3? We're in 2 different rankings here?
Oh, okay.
okay.
All right.
All right, let's go 2.
All right,
let's go
I'll go
2.
3. I do.
All right, me and Fernando got 3.
All right, the Capitals.
Are they good?
They were an underdog.
This
kinda
threw
little
me
bit
for
this
a
year.
loop.
Can we put them last? No offense. I mean, they were playing a Golden Knights team that was literally on the startup at the time.
True. I think that's a 4. I think that's a 4 for me.
Yeah.
I'll have to agree with
Yeah.
you, Wyatt.
Yeah, sure, I go with that.
Right, let's go
Works.
4. And next one, the 2015-16
Yeah, I don't care.
Chicago
One.
Cubs.
This has to be 1.
Put it 1.
This
I don't
has to be
care.
one.
This meant a lot. I don't screw dominance. This meant so much to
Everything.
the
This
city
is
of
one.
Chicago.
Can we talk
What?
about everything how it meant so much to Chicago after they won? They broke a drought of 100 years, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Can you
100
imagine not winning a championship for 100 years? Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty much like NFL franchises not having won a championship since their inception.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. All right, I'll give you that. But this is 1, right? We unanimously can decide this is 1, right?
Okay,
Yeah, I think it's
okay.
I
And
think
what-
this is
this
one.
was a great story.
Yeah.
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 It is a-
All right, next one, the 24.
I lied. I put it at 1.
We messed up.
No.
Boy, I lied about the Cubs. This is number 1.
Hey,
Everyone's got it.
hey,
Out of hate, 5. Out of hate, 5.
At least we have 3, so there.
2. I do
We have
2.
Fernando, I'll
3.
take it.
You
All right.
know, all right, yeah, we
I'm
Three.
a
I'm
Warriors
going
fan,
3.
so.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Oh, yeah, you're an Oakland. Okay.
Yep.
That's
look,
fair. We'll
like, look,
concede.
this year they came out of nowhere and won. I'll say that, and that was the beginning
Came
of
out of nowhere. They went 67-15.
But this was the beginning of their dynasty.
Yeah.
Yes. No, yes.
This was the beginning of the dynasty. I understand that the first championship in a dynasty is always the most precious one, but also, it was the Cavaliers in 6 games. I just can't. Nothing can beat the Cubs. The
Yeah,
Cubs
I know.
had.
It's not like it's a series that came down to the wire.
That's
No,
fair.
not at all.
That's
If
fair.
it was the 2016 and 2017 Cavaliers,
then that should be 5.
then that
Yeah.
that should have been number 1.
I don't know about you guys, but last one.
Actually, you know what? Bonus
that's a
points,
clear
they beat the
5.
16-0 Patriots.
They did.
Other than that, whatever.
They stopped-
Eli, the only reason Eli Manning is a Hall of Fame candidate is because of those 2 Super Bowl wins against
Would you
the
say he's a
Patriots.
Hall of Famer, though?
No.
Good answer.
I think he is not ready to be a Hall of Famer.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer in 8
He's got to
years.
let his legend kind of form a little bit. It's been a little too soon.
But who knows? Maybe for another 10 years, the Giants won't have a good quarterback, and the fans will have to cling on to Eli even more.
I think I'll get the call at like
I mean,
50?
but
I think I'll get the call in a couple of years. I think I'll get the call.
Give it until
People love
2035.
Eli. I don't know about you
But
guys,
I'll
but being
say-
on the East Coast, people love Eli Manning.
But I'll say this:
kinda dumb.
no one expected the Giants to win, so that was a heck of a. And also, let's not forget that amazing catch. That
Was that?
David
That
Tyree.
wasn't
That
the
was-
Super Bowl. That was the
That
next
was,
one they
Odell
beat the
wasn't
Pa-
in the league yet, I don't think.
No, that was the next one.
Yeah,
they beat them.
that was that same year. That was when David Tyree
Yeah,
had
how
that
many catches
helmet
this year?
catch.
yeah, that was a helmet
Yeah.
catch.
Oh, was that? I lied.
yeah.
All right.
So that was another highlight-worthy
They
moment.
did beat the forces of evil in the 16-0 Patriots.
And they stopped history.
They did stop
Yes,
history.
I do
They
like
did.
that. I do
Yeah.
like
Hey,
stopping
just
history
as the
too.
Eagles did on Sunday.
Yeah,
True,
Yeah,
true.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But hey, that last one was a bit of a disappointment. So let's end today's show on a positive note.
All right.
I want to go around the table and give us an athlete that either won an award or did something impressive recently that you think should be highlighted and celebrated.
All right, I'll start us off. You see the man on the screen. Same team, Cooper DeJean, the great white hope. Someone call Will Compton. Tell him we got a captain for the all-white team, and his name's Cooper DeJean. You've never seen a white man run with a football like that. He is all-time. He does it all. King of the whites, all of it, captain of the team. Give it to him. He was electric. He held them down.
To clarify, he is not a safety. He is
He is not a safety. He is a nickel corner, and he'll either put Derrick Henry on his ass, or he will take a pick six back in the Super Bowl. That's why the great white hope, Cooper DeJean, is my elite athlete today.
Hey, do you think he has a chance to become the best defender in Eagles history or no?
I wouldn't say best white defender in NFL history.
Dawkins.
He might be the best white quarterback in NFL history by the end of his career.
I said it before. This guy's going to get much better.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. He's so raw.
And he won the Super Bowl already.
Yeah.
And it was on his birthday. That was pretty cool, too.
And he was the top performing rookie.
Great story.
Yes,
Great story.
And what do you think, Fernando? What's yours?
Well, first, I don't know if people know this, but Katie Schumacher-Cauley announced yesterday that after 6 rounds of chemotherapy, that she was cancer-free.
Yeah.
What an awesome story, an inspirational story this is. I mean, she announced in October that she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and you could have said, she's going to step down from the team. I mean, it's valid. She has to fight the cancer. Like, it's very understandable. But you know what? She fought like a warrior. Mm-hmm. She kept fighting the cancer and gave so much resilience and so much belief to her team that they won a national championship and became the first female head coach to ever win a women's volleyball national championship.
First word that comes to mind, winner. National champion and beat cancer's butt. Like,
and also, for me, it's warrior. Like,
warrior.
Warrior.
Down in the trenches.
Not only did she beat cancer, she won a national championship. That's the most impressive part. She didn't only win off the field, she won on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's got to be the biggest retribution ever prior to her chemotherapy being over. So, what about you, Wyatt?
That made my day. That made my day.
What about you, Wyatt? What's yours?
I'm going back to the Eagles. Eagles fan, my guy, Jordan Mailata, South Sydney Rabbitoh rugby player, turned into one of the best tackles in the league right now. Had a down year a little bit. I still think he was a Pro Bowl snub, but he's been my absolute favorite Eagle since we drafted him, really. He pancaked his way to that Saquon 2,000-yard season. I just love him. He's such a locker room guy. Anytime anybody gets a hit on Jalen Hurts, he's in their face. He's ready to go. Just an amazing, amazing story. He loves the city, and he did it for the Aussies. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
He's got to take off those, what's it called, forearm pads. Though.
Yeah, I think it's
ugly.
drippy. I think it's drippy.
They kind of give me Batman vibes a little bit.
He played rugby. I think we should hand
I was going to say, if you're going to play rugby, you can't wear forearm pads. You know how to hit, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We should hand him the ball. We should hand him the ball.
Hey, what else are you going to wear?
Is that an eligible number, though? Come on now.
Yeah, what else are you going to do? Wear a whole arm brace?
What?
No, you don't wear any of that. You just let your arm get bruised.
And now he was even a lineman in high school. What the heck? Well,
all right, Owen, you give us our last man right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My pick is going to be J.K. Dobbins, former Los Angeles Charger, will be a free agent this season. Who knows if he'll be paid, but his comeback story is really something. I feel like he should have won Comeback Player of the Year. I don't know how many people know how hard it is to recover from a torn Achilles. Dobbins suffered that in week 1 of 2023, which was his last game as a Raven. And even before that, he missed all of 2021 with a torn ACL and LCL. And there are multiple examples of running backs who are in their prime and just fell off after tearing their Achilles. For example, Isaiah Crowell. You have Arian Foster and James Robinson.
Did Todd Gurley do it? Did he get hurt? Or did
He got hurt. It was his knee, though. I think.
But either way, Dobbins bounced back nicely with LA to run for 905 yards and 9 touchdowns, and he even missed some time this season. So it's a real nice comeback story, and it should inspire those to just never stop giving up despite what adversity you face. And is there a team do you want to see him on next year?
I'll bring him to Vegas. I mean, we need a running back anyway. We'll take anybody.
I'll take him to the Cowboys. We need a running back.
You got Zeke. You're fine.
Cowboys.
Ashton Genty's probably going to Dallas.
We'll see.
Unless the Raiders get him.
We'll see. I don't know what Jerry Jones is up to these days.
Yeah.
He could do anything.
He's my
Who's your
favorite.
magic?
He's my favorite GM in the league. I love Jerry
true.
Jones.
They're right behind Howie Roseman, I'd say. For me.
Yeah.
And then just watch him draft Jalen Walker just because. Maybe he's scared of the whole Micah Parsons trade situation.
Micah Parsons is going to Philly.
Future Eagle.
Yeah,
he wants
he's
to be
going
an
to
Eagle.
Philly.
He wants to be an
scared.
Eagle.
That's going to be really bad. if he's
No,
in Philly.
come to Buffalo. Come to Buffalo. You have so much. You have so many edge rushers, and hey, you can still play Bryce Huff. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what you guys feel about that, but hey, it's been a real nice show. But that's all for us here on 360 Sports. For Luke Mascarenhas, Fernando Martinez, and Wyatt Beach, I'm Owen Klein. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.